Good morning, class 12th. Class 12th, we have covered our chapter 4th, the enemy. Now let's discuss the question answer of the chapter. See the first question. There are moments in life when we have to make hard choices between our roles as private individuals and as citizens with a sense of national loyalty. Discuss with reference to the story you have just read. See, first try to understand the question. It has been asked that there are moments in life when we have to make hard choices, right? It means out of two, we have to go with one. And those hard choices between our roles as private individuals and as citizens with a sense of national loyalty means sometimes we are to go with patriotism, okay, and sometime we are to think private individual. Okay, now discuss with reference to the story you have just read. So now taking the example of this story in your mind, we have to explain this. Fine. If we see that Dr. Sadao, he was a Japanese, but he saved the life of POW, prisoner of war. He was American. Okay, so if we consider that being a Japanese, he is expected to surrender the American to the police. It was his duty to hand him over to the police. But being the human aspect of his personality, which is nurtured by his training as a doctor, because being a doctor he was taught that being a doctor you are to save the life of the patient. You are not to take the life of the patient. You are to save the life of the patient. That sort of training had been given to him. So, nurtured by his training as a doctor, cannot allow the wounded Tom to die in the absence of treatment. Being a doctor, he cannot leave any of the person, either the person is his enemy or friend. If he is able to save the life of any person because with his treatment, so definitely it is his first duty. That is more than patriotism, I would say. Right? So he was trained to save the life, not to take the life. Moreover, we can understand that sometimes an individual finds himself in such a dilemma, in such a situation where he is helpless. So, same it happens with Dr. Sadao when he was in dilemma, but he proved himself that he is above from all these prejudices which are prevailing in the country, which are prevailing in the world. So, ultimately, he overcomes all those considerations and he decided to save the life of POW. Though he performed all his duty, being patriot and being doctor. Being a true patriot, he informed General Takima about the presence of POW at his home, and being a doctor, he operated the POW. Right? Now question number 2. Dr. Sadao was compelled by his duty as a doctor to help the enemy soldier. What made Hana, his wife, sympathetic to him in the face of open defiance from the domestic staff? See, we can understand that Dr. Sadao was definitely he was compelled because his profession compelled him to save the life of that enemy. So professionally it is totally justifiable. But Hana apparently had no such compulsion. So we can say first thing that some values nurtured by her made her uphold the decision of her husband. Means she was an obedient wife and she spotted the action of Dr. Sadao, right? She helped him in each and every situation. So she was very obedient. Second thing, we can say that her love and loyalty towards her husband. Okay. Moreover, she was a woman. And women are instinctively preservers and not the destroyers because they are mothers, right? Moreover, we can say that she was an educated woman. Okay. Her sensitivity and values of kindness and merciful attitude, I would say, make her get over all those prejudices. And that's why she treated the enemy with all possible kindness and hospitality. Right. Now, question number 3. How would you explain the reluctance of the soldier to leave the shelter of doctor's home even when he knew he couldn't stay there without risk to doctor and himself? Though it was not hidden that he is at doctor's house, right? So, first thing, he was quite reluctant. We all know. There were some reasons. First thing, he knew that as he was injured, so he needed a doctor. So first thing, he was in safe hands. Second thing, both of them, they had been in America, so they knew how to communicate in English, so it was easy for him to communicate with them. Moreover, the house of Dr. Sadao, it was located at the coast of the sea. So anytime it was easy for him to run away from there. Moreover, I would say that he also understood that both of them, they are very kind. Okay. And he also sensed the importance and influence of Dr. Sadao and consider him the best person who can ensure his safety. Right. So that's why he was reluctant to leave Dr. Sadao's shelter. Now, question number 4. What explains the attitude of the journal in the matter of the enemy soldier? Was it human consideration? Was it human consideration or lack of national loyalty, dereliction of duty, or simply self-absorption? See, this question almost covers the character sketch of General Takima, right? We all know that he was, or you can say he is, an eccentric fellow, absolutely preoccupied with himself, right? We have seen that he was a selfish person from the very beginning till end. He was a cruel person who even beats his wife. Okay? And he also keeps private assassins. Remember the idea of private assassins when Dr. Sadao informed him about the prisoner of war. He asked him, you need not to worry, I will send my private assassins, private killers, and they will kill him. Okay? Moreover, he knew it very well that Dr. Sadao is a man of high principles. He is a true patriot, so he will never allow any anti-national activity at his place. So he was quite reluctant because he was selfish. He was thinking of himself. He thought that if I will send the assassins, they may harm Dr. Sadao as well. That's why he never sent. So I would say that he was lacking in national loyalty. These are the things only of saying that I was not lacking in this. But actually, he was lacking here because he was thinking of himself. He was a selfish person. Let's move to the 5th question. While hatred against a member of the enemy race is justifiable, especially during wartime, what makes a human being rise above narrow prejudices? See, when the world war or war is going on, definitely we hate each other. Means those who are our enemy, people definitely they hate each other. But sometime there are so many people, those who raise themselves above these narrow prejudices. And one of the most beautiful example we have seen, Dr. Sadao and his wife Hannah. Dr. Sadao and Hannah, both of them, they rose themselves above these narrow prejudices, and what they did, they helped the American. Okay, they helped the American and they left all those negative values behind. Dr. Sadao was a very kind person and he was very dedicated to his profession. And his profession, he was a doctor. And his profession says to save the life of the patient, not to take. So we can say that his sense of morality, his ethics, humanity, they rise him above all those prejudices, and that's why he saved the life of that fellow. Do you think the doctor's final solution to the problem was the best possible one in the circumstances? Do you think doctor's final solution to the problem was the best possible one in the circumstances? Yes. See, from the very beginning, if we see that was his job to save his life, to save the life of the patient, he did the same thing. Okay. Somewhere we have seen that though when he was thinking of that he is an American, he also felt contemptuous to him. Right. But whatever he did, finally, whatever he did, it was the best solution. See, when General Takima asked him that I will send the private assassins to kill that fellow, right? What happened? He couldn't sleep peacefully for 3 nights. He was helpless. And it was not less than a torture. Then, whatever the final solution he decided, that admired his character. Moreover, I would say that this act of kindness makes the doctor the mouthpiece of the author also. And in this way, as the author was trying to conveying the message of peace, love and tolerance, it was conveyed by Dr. Sadao. So dear student, you can leave last these 2 questions. Okay, so this is all for today. Now from tomorrow onwards, we shall continue with our 3rd chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth. You will write down all these questions, 6 questions in your notebook. During the chapter, whatever the short questions I have asked, you have to attempt those questions also. You will write down the character sketches of Dr. Sadao, Hannah, General Takima and Tom. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we shall continue with Journey to the End of the Earth. Thank you. Have a good day.